investigator. Detective.
What do they do?
Yep.
We investigate crimes that occurred within the schools. My job is to respond to the schools that have different crimes. I also do investigations on cases involving juveniles. I'm in charge of all of the truancy stuff. I'm in charge of the child protection cases that come in from child protection, like child abuse and whatnot. That's about it.
Alright, I think sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay.
okay.
What made you want to work in the / related to the government?
I never wanted to work for the government.
Oh, really?
But in order to be a cop, you kind of have to, so it's a problem. No, my goal wasn't to work for the government. My goal was to be a police officer. So I guess you have to work for the government in order to be a police officer.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yes.
What branch is that?
What's that?
What branch?
For us, it's city.
City?
Yeah, because I work for Maplewood. If you work for the state, you work for state patrol, state trooper, you work for the state.
Oh, I see.
And if you're a sheriff deputy, then you work for the county. So you work for the Ramsey County versus a city.
Okay.
Are those higher levels, or is it all the same level?
No, we're all cops. It's just that we have our own jurisdictions. Like I cover Maplewood, county covers Ramsey County, but they're specified to like Shoreview, Arden Hills, like Ramsey County. And we have our own police department, so they don't need to cover us. We cover ourselves. Then the state patrol, they cover the freeways and highways.
I see.
I don't like being recorded.
And you're the only one recording too.
Do people ever use the Bill of Rights or amendments against you? Like
What's
when
that?
your Bill of Rights or amendments against you?
Has anybody ever used it against me?
Yeah, like when you're trying to accuse them of something or something.
What do you mean by that?
I think he's more in the school stuff, so will he be...
Well, I mean, we have to honor the amendments. We have to honor the Bill of Rights. We can't break somebody's rights, you know. So I guess I don't understand the question.
You know like those YouTube videos?
Do they violate people's rights or what?
Like
Yeah,
Miranda
like,
rights.
Huh?
Like the Miranda rights.
Oh yeah, we have to read the Miranda warnings and stuff. Miranda is something that we have to ask.
Yeah.
We have to read Miranda to suspects that might be involved in a crime in order to prevent them from self-incrimination, or at least having knowledge that they're self-incriminating themselves. So we have to read them the Miranda warning. It's something that was passed a long time ago, and it's something that we have to read now. We have to read them their rights in order for them to understand that whatever they tell us, we're going to present in court, and it is going to be held against them. So whatever they tell us, they have to know that we're going to bring it to court and that they're going to be aware of everything they said.
Alright. Wow. Is
Have
it
you-
tough being a cop?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes not.
Have you ever like been involved in like a hot pursuit kind of thing?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about one of your experiences?
One experience.
The best one.
Yeah.
Turn off the recording and I'll tell you next. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, like really? Is it really that bad?
One experience we had and this is back from when I was younger.
How young?
20. Oh man, this is years ago.
How old are you? Yeah, that's good.
33.
Oh,
33.
okay.
So I was in my early 20s, got in a car chase over, and I didn't start it up. One of my partners started it up. It was a shoplifter at the mall, and going well over the speed limit, going down Beam Avenue to Highway 61, south on 61. Ended up going down 36 to 35E, 35E down to 94, 94 to 52, 52 south. Ended up in Inver Grove Heights.
Wow.
Wow.
And we were probably going like 80 to 100 miles an hour down the freeways and stuff. Looking back on it, would I have done it again? No, not over shoplifters. But at the time, all you think about is I want to drive fast and catch some bad guys. So,
Dang.
but yeah, no, I would never do that now.
Did you catch one?
Oh yeah, we caught him. Actually, the canine bit him.
Oh, dang.
Wow.
Yeah,
How'd you guys get the car to stop?
Yeah.
Crash.
they crashed.
They crashed. Did they get out of the car?
I don't even know if I shouldn't even say they crashed. They hit a cul-de-sac. They were stupid enough to hit a cul-de-sac, and you can't go anywhere in a cul-de-sac, so they ended up driving up onto the curb and jumped out and
Wow.
ran, and dog chased after them and bit them.
Dang. How many hot pursuit have you done?
Probably like 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Something like that. How many could I have gotten into? A lot. I cancel my own chases though, because I don't feel like chases are worth it a lot of times.
True.
Because you can hit somebody and they'll kill somebody.
Yeah.
It's not
So are
worth
you
it.
towards like kind of like against those kind of chases?
No, I'm for car chases.
Okay.
Depends what the crime is though.
Okay.
If it's a homicide suspect or if it's an armed robbery suspect or something with a gun or whatever, then I'm all about the pursuit. The problem is that at times, if you work night shift, pursuits aren't as bad because there's not as many people out, so you don't have to worry about hitting people. But when in the daytime, like for instance, I'm a school cop, I think about kids getting off the school bus, I think about people coming home from work, whatever, and it's busier, so you don't. That's the time that you don't want to get in car chases. You don't want to hit a kid that's coming off the bus. Doesn't look very good on the news when you hit a 5-year-old getting off the bus to go home from school.
Nope.
So,
When was your like recent hot pursuit though? Like the
no,
recent.
I've been in pursuit a long time.
Really?
No, not worth it to me.
True that.
No.
Alright.
Most of the stuff that we deal with is property crime. Most of it. Every now and then you might get something good, but the times that I could have gotten in a car chase, they were either property crime. To me, a stolen vehicle is not even worth a car chase.
All right.
Because it's a vehicle. Who cares?
Yeah, true.
Shoplifters, whatever, and then the other one would be like traffic infractions. Like if somebody runs a stop sign, they take off from me. That's not worth it to me either.
Alright.
So just give.
Just let them slide.
It's not worth it to me.
Alright.
Some cops they probably chase them. Actually, most cops probably chase them. I'm not that guy. It's not worth it to me.
Alright. So you're mostly in the area of Maplewood, right?
That's all I cover is Maplewood.
Alright. That's cool. And like, do you like get like a lot of pressure being a cop?
Sure.
A lot? Or
You get pressure from your supervisors. You get pressure from your own partners. You get pressure from the city council.
oh wow.
Because they're your bosses too. You know,
Oh, yeah.
they're the ones that give you funding. They're the ones that approve whether or not somebody gets fired or hired or
Yeah.
whatnot. I mean, you got to make a lot of people happy.
True that.
So it's being a police officer is big time. It's a political position too. I mean, you have to not only do your job well, but you have to make people happy on top of it. So it's not the easiest thing to do. Sometimes there's been times where our officers have pulled over family members of the city council, or have pulled over family members of another police officer, or maybe even another police officer from a different department.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Dang. That is really hard. Well, so that is like a lot of pressure then, right?
Oh yeah.
Alright.
It's a political game is what it is. You gotta play the politics.
So what happens when you pull them over?
It's really up to the officer. I've been lucky lately, I haven't done anything like that. But I mean, for a lot of police officers, we get a lot of that stuff. We've had one of our officers has pulled over like 3 or 4 St. Paul police officers.
Whoa.
Wow.
You know, what do you do when they're speeding to go home from work?
Oh
They're
yeah.
tired? Do you give them a ticket? Do you let them go? Do you release them?
Do they? Or do most of them do or
I
no?
really don't know.
Oh, really?
Just depends on the person.
I haven't pulled over a St. Paul cop.
Oh, wow. I never knew you guys do that.
You
No
know,
idea.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know you could like just pull over a cop car too. I did not know
No,
that.
they're not in a squad car. They're in their personal car
Oh, they're
driving home
personal
from work
car.
or something. Yeah, but then you know, a lot of times they'll pull out their badge and show that they're a cop.
Oh yeah.
How do you respond to that?
Well, that is
You know?
pressure right there.
Yep.
And let me see here. As a cop, what do you think should be legal for like,
In terms of like
I don't know, like I'm trying to find it in my head.
people's rights.
Yeah. What do you think should be legal?
Like
Should be legal?
Yeah.
like,
Like
they
is it
should allow it.
drugs
Or, like,
or weapons
drugs.
or like property, stuff like that?
I don't really care.
You don't
I enforce the law. That's my job.
Alright.
Whatever laws are passed by the government, those are laws I enforce.
Oh, okay.
If they were to legalize marijuana tomorrow, then I'd have to.
You just have to go with it?
You know, I'd
Yeah.
have to uphold the law and. Okay, well, whatever. I mean, obviously, I can't imagine them saying that's okay to drive under the influence of marijuana. So obviously, I'd have to enforce that if somebody's driving under the influence of marijuana.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of. It's like drunk driving. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
Alcohol's legal right now.
Mhm.
If they legalize marijuana, then I have to enforce whatever laws go according to that. So, you know, I really, I mean, for me, I would hope they're never going to legalize meth. I would hope they're never going to legalize heroin or anything like that. I would
Yeah.
hope they're not going to legalize that it's okay to beat your wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But that's, I mean, it's just common sense that I would hope that our government would have, that they would continue to keep those laws in place.
Oh yeah.
It's the things that I don't. I mean, there's some laws that I think it doesn't matter. I mean,
Oh yeah.
do I think marijuana is really going to be that big of a deal if they legalize it? I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe,
true that.
maybe not.
So, as in school, like while you're in school, do you you ever caught anybody having marijuana in school
Oh,
and stuff like that? You have?
Just arrested a kid a couple weeks ago for it.
Oh, really?
At a middle school, yep.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're
Nice.
at John
Dang.
Glenn for that then?
I have
Or-
John Glenn, Maplewood Middle School. I have all the schools in the city.
Oh,
I
okay,
have
got
22
it.
schools I cover.
22
Oh,
schools. Wow.
And you have a partner too, right?
Nope.
Or no?
Oh, in the schools? Not by myself
No,
in
no,
the
okay.
schools.
But outside you have a partner.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's several squads in the streets.
Does everyone have a partner then?
No.
Almost.
None of our squads have partners. We're all on our own in our own police
Okay.
academy.
Alright. Let's see here. Like, for school-wise, how often do you guys check those marijuana or drugs, like, or stuff
It's really
like
the school district that does it.
Oh,
There's
really?
a company called East Metro Canine.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is that the schools, each individual school has East Metro Canine come to their school and randomly do a sniff of the interior of the school, do a random check of the parking lot of all
Yeah.
the cars in the schools. So it's really up to them.
that? Okay. So it's really up to the school only then, right?
Any way that you can move your car, all the buses are